What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Here to Grow podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Emilio Gonzalez, and we're here to grow. So what I wanted to talk about today was confidence. So we all know that people struggle with like happiness and stuff, but they also struggle with confidence, right? Confidence is actually one of the most important personality traits that you can have. And I know that there's a lot of controversy around the idea of the alpha male. As you know, some people might get offended, and others think that the whole concept of alpha versus beta is just nonsense. And you can see that those people are obviously beta males. But anyways, uh, confidence plays a part in every aspect of life. Like your job, for example, it can actually help you get the job. It can help you do good at that job. Like if you're in sales or something, or you're in a management role, if you have the confidence, it helps you do your job better. And it also can help you get that raise that you were looking at. And it also, helps you in the relationship world. It can help you get that girl that you had your eyes on because, well, what girl wants a guy who can't even look her in the eye? Confidence just makes you feel better about yourself. And honestly, it's kind of funny because the relationship between feeling good and confidence is literally in a circle. If you feel good about yourself, you're confident. And if you're confident in yourself, you feel pretty good. But before we get into the details, I am by no means saying that if you aren't always the most dominant person in the room, then it's impossible for you to have any sort of happiness. Like, no, of course not. That's ridiculous. In fact, even if you are a shy guy, as long as you're happy with who you are and the life you live, confidence can just come naturally. Because usually when you're content with your life and who you are, you care less about what other people think. And you walk like it too. But anyways, let's dive into it. First off, you have to start to care. I feel like this one is super obvious because, of course, you're never going to actually do something if you don't care about it. Or at least you're never going to do it successfully if you don't care about it. And it's sad to see that there are people who don't care because you can't really help those people. You can't help them get their life together if they don't care about it themselves. There's a saying, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And if you're unhappy with, your lack of confidence, then what are you doing? Start caring about yourself, about how you look, how you feel, the impact you have on others. What type of man do you want to be? No one has ever become successful just by doing enough to get by, just by winging it. The most successful people are those who have a passion. They have a desire, they have a dream, they have a goal, and they go after it. They put in the work, they care about it, and they just have this passion for it. I was listening to a Gary Vee video, and it was talking about money, but that's besides the point. But basically, the point of the video was that you gotta go after your passion because you're never going to be successful if you're not passionate about what you do. Even if you made decent money, like, you're going after things for the wrong reason. And even if you get the end goal in terms of finance, you're still not feeling fulfilled, feeling passionate about that line of work per se. And Tony Robbins said that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I feel like I've said that on the show before, but if you don't care about what you do, about who you are, then it's just like, it's almost impossible to live a good life, to be happy, if you have no care in the world. I'm not saying care about what other people think. Like that's a topic for in a few minutes we'll get to that. But you got to care about you. You got to care about your happiness, about your confidence, about where you are in your life. And of course, there's definitely people who might not have confidence, but they don't really care to change. And those people are probably not listening to this. So obviously, you do care about your life, about your happiness, about your confidence if you are here. So congratulations, you have made the first step. Anyways, let's go on to the second part, which is handpick your inner circle. There's a scripture. It reads, do not be misled. Bad associations spoil useful habits. That's 1 Corinthians 15:33. That makes so much sense because association can be everything. It influences your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, and who you are as a person. If you know, like, what people say about like kids, like when you grow up, like when you're young, let's say elementary school, your parents are like the most important things to you, right? Like you care about your parents, like you always want to please your parents, your family, right? But then when you get to like middle school and like high school, then you stop caring about anything that your parents say. You only think about what your friends say. And if you have good friends, that might help you. That you know, if you have like a good group of friends, they're supportive, they're smart, that might help you, you know, become successful. But if you have the wrong kind of friends, those who are, I don't know, just not good people, then you're going to wind up doing what they're doing. Whether it's peer pressure or whether they manipulate your thoughts or whatever it is. And that's exactly why parents, especially with the younger kids, are so careful with who they let their kids associate with. And it proves true as an adult. Even though your parents might not have a say or might not be involved in your friend life, you now need to take control, and you are the person who needs to be worried about that, who needs to care about that. Because you can have a friend group that they don't do anything, they might be lazy, they just want to drink and party all day. Is that the life you want to live? If it is, all right, fine, go do it. Keep those friends. But if you have that friend group and that's all they want to do, but yet you have aspirations for your education, for your financial well-being, for your relationships, whatever it is, and you have friends with a bunch of deadbeats, how beneficial is that to you? And then you have people that they have friend groups where their friends, or quote-unquote friends, they're toxic people. They're people who are always jealous and always want to put you down. Like, I know in music, like, there's a lot of people who write about that, where they're like, oh, I'm on top, and you all just want to bring me down, and stuff like that. I find that in the, I think, like, in the hip-hop and rap industry, people are really good at this, of having confidence and choosing the right friend group for them. Because when they find somebody who's toxic, they tend to discard them. And I'm not telling you to discard friends. What I'm saying is that you have to choose who exactly you're associating with. And I'm not saying, like, just take friends who don't have the same goals as you and throw them out to the side, but you shouldn't be around those people who are really standing in the way of you accomplishing your dreams, your desires. Especially if they're toxic and they're putting you down and wanting to tell you that, hey, no, you'll never be able to accomplish this. You'll never be able to accomplish that. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. You don't have to wake up early. You don't have to go to the gym. Just stay and hang out. Oh, look at Mr. Adam over there, thinking he's all cool and all, getting his new job and with the suit and tie, thinking he's all buff now that he goes to the gym a little bit, and they're talking behind your back. And then when they're in front of your face, it's no better. Why would you want to be friends with those people? That can tear your confidence down. But we feel a need so many times to please people, to be a people pleaser. And that's not how you want to live. Do you want to make people happy? Yes. Do you want to make everybody happy? No. Because some people will never be happy. Some people, they're just like that. They can never accept that, hey, my good friend did something amazing and I'm proud of him. No. There are people out there who, when their good friend does something amazing, they might be jealous or get upset and want to drag that person down. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad that those people exist. It's sad that anybody can feel like that. Excuse me. But that's how it is. So why put yourself in that situation? Just stay out of it. And since we've been talking about, taking out toxic people from your life, now let's talk about taking toxins out of your body, I guess. That was a bad transition. I'm sorry. But the next point is to take care of your body. And this is important because so many people, they just don't care about their bodies. And I don't understand it, because if you don't care, you just let yourself go, you're so out of shape that you can't walk up a flight of stairs, and then you have no confidence. Like, what do you think is contributing to that? You really think that you eating like 3 Big Macs and then laying on the couch and watching Grey's Anatomy is gonna boost your confidence? No, like that's not helping you. And that goes back into the get out of your comfort zone kind of thing, because you might want to just be comfortable and have those Big Macs and watch that show on the couch, because that's what makes you comfortable. But that's not where success comes in. Success doesn't come from comfort. Success comes from kind of being miserable for a bit, going through the hard work. And not only does that apply to, working hard to improve your life, your finances, but it also applies to your health, your fitness. And like we mentioned in the outset, feeling good and confidence go hand in hand. Now, if you don't feel good, whether it has to do with like the way you're eating, or you're just living a very sedentary lifestyle, you're not getting up and moving, well, then yeah, you're not going to feel confident. You don't even feel healthy. So how are you going to feel confident? But now if you look at it on the other side, if you eat healthy and you work out, 2 things are going to happen. 1, you're going to feel great. And I don't mean like looking in the mirror, that too, but what I mean is like feel energized. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel more confident in yourself. You should feel good. And then also when you look in the mirror, because if you look in the mirror and you see the improvement you made from being overweight, flabby, out of shape, to seeing new muscles that you never saw before, seeing the body fat going down, you're like, hey, I look good. Of course that adds to confidence. So what are you going to do? You got to treat your body like a temple. You don't just bring in whatever. Oh, look, that sounds good. Let me bring it in. No, it's like bringing a prostitute to church. You would never disrespect your God like that. So why would you disrespect yourself like that by putting junk in your body? That's how you got to look at it. Now, am I saying that you need to be on like these super strict diets and be working out 7 days a week and only eating salad and chicken breast. Like, that's it. No, obviously not. But it's about the balance. And the whole weight loss and fitness thing discussion, that's a different story. But it's just getting on track to do that. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to pass the Navy SEAL BUD/S test. You don't have to do that. Just maybe start walking every now and then, especially if all you do is drive to work or take the train and then sit at your desk for 8 to 10 hours, then drive back home and then sit on the couch and watch TV. Like, you're not getting any movement in. So just walk a bit, or maybe go for a jog. Do some push-ups, some sit-ups, some pull-ups. Do something. As long as you're doing something, you're on the right track. And when you notice the changes, both physically and feelingly, that's not a word, but you know what I mean, like how you feel, you're gonna be like filled with confidence. Not only because of the progress you've made, but just because you look and feel great. Now, the next point might be insulting to some. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. And that is, you got to develop a brain. But, Emilio, are you calling me stupid? Yes, I'm calling you stupid. No, not really. But there are so many people who are so smart, but they just don't use their heads. And it's sad because you have all this potential and you don't use it. And everybody has potential, but they just don't use it. Why? Because they don't care. And they don't take care of themselves. And their friends are probably telling them off. Oh, don't worry about learning that new skill. You don't need to do it. Just stick to what you know. Right? See, this all goes hand in hand. But develop a brain. And I don't mean like raise your IQ. I'm not saying like you got to become like a theoretical physicist or something. No. Just, expand your horizons a bit. Read a book. So many people don't read books. Read a book. Listen to a podcast on something you didn't know about. Like, just try to learn something. If you learn something, you're, creating connections between neurons in your brain, and you're literally becoming smarter. You don't have to learn chemistry, physics, calculus, whatever. You don't have to learn that stuff. Just read a book about something new. Whether it's like, oh, my credit score is a mess. Let me buy a book on how to fix your credit score, or watch a YouTube video. Like, something productive, something that's going to help you learn. Again, do you have to spend all day, every day doing this? No, of course not. It's balance. But people tend to go on the other extremity, and instead of exercising, eating healthy, reading a good book, what do? They never touch the treadmill. They watch TV all day. They say books are for losers. Like that's the kind of people we're dealing with here. And I'm not saying that you need to become the smartest person in the world, but if you expand your mind, expand your horizons, like of what you're learning, that'll help you become more confident, because now you know what you're talking about. Like, me personally, I love it when people ask me questions on topics that I know stuff about, because it's like I'm able to help people, and also like I sound smart. I might not be the smartest guy in the world, but I know that I sound smart when I'm, with what I'm talking about, and that I know what I'm talking about, I come off totally different. Like, if somebody who knows nothing about, the economy or politics or anything, and they ask me certain questions, like, my whole demeanor might change. If I'm in a group and we're talking about something that I have no interest in, I don't know. What don't I have an interest in? I have an interest in almost everything, so it's hard to find something that I don't have interest in. Let's say makeup. Let's say I'm in a group of females or just makeup users, whatever gender they are, and they're talking about their eyeliner and their lipstick or whatever makeup people use. I don't know anything about that stuff, right? And I'm bored out of my mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you can tell clearly that I'm bored out of my mind. And then I have one of the people turn it and look at me and say, so what do you think is going to happen to the economy in the next year? Boom. I know what I'm talking about to an extent. And am I an economist? No. Am I an expert on finance? No, by no means. But I look into this stuff. I look at the stock market daily. I'm in real estate, so I got to know what mortgage rates are and what home prices are. I read finance journals. Not like religiously, but I overview things, so I just get a rough idea of how we're looking today, how the last week is, what are the projections for next week. So I know what I'm talking about, and you can see it light up in my face because, hey, I know what I'm talking about here. I'm excited about it. I'm passionate about it. I care about this stuff. And I went from like crouching in a corner, not knowing what to say about makeup, to now standing up straight and going off on this topic. I remember in high school that when I had a friend, and every time we would talk, right, she would always tell me how much she loved hearing me talk. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, when you tell stories or talk about a certain topic that you like, I love hearing you talk about it. Even though I have no idea what you're talking about, it's just so interesting to hear you talk about it because you're passionate about it. Because you love what you're talking about, and it just makes you seem so much more interesting. So now, other people think you're interesting. Other people like listening to you more. And if you know that, you're just going to be 10 times more confident. And let's move on to the next part, though, which is stand up straight with your shoulders back. That is actually chapter 1 of the book 12 Rules to Life by Jordan Peterson. I love so much Dr. Jordan Peterson. And that book is great. If you haven't read it, please go get it. It's 12 Rules to Life by Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. Great. Love him. Anyways, stand up straight with your shoulders back. I remember in high school, I was the drum major for the marching band. And we used to have this cadence thing, right? That wasn't a cadence. I forgot what it was called. I guess commands. I don't know what it was called. But we would essentially like shout things, but it had to do about like stand up straight, stomach in, shoulders back, chest out, chin up, and something with your eyes. I don't remember exactly, but it was, about standing up straight and everything. And when we did that, we felt like we were going to rock the house. It felt amazing. It was fun, but it felt amazing because you got the whole band to scream at the top of their lungs and get ready for our performance. Get ready to see the football team win. Right? And I know you might be thinking actually that, oh, what a beta. He was in the marching band, not the football team. Shut up. I know what I'm doing. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, so your actual physical your posture, your posture can play a huge impact in your confidence. They even tell you that, like in like a psychology class, like a regular high school psychology class, they, talk about how if you do like power poses, like before an interview or something, you'll be so much more different in the interview than if you're just like sitting down, like not in a power pose, I guess. So power pose meaning like you sit up straight, you stretch out, I don't know, stretch out your body, make yourself look big. Just doing those little movements triggers something in the brain that makes you more confident. Just like making yourself smile can put you in a better mood. If you're in a bad mood and you just smile, it'll slightly improve your mood. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you're really upset or you're just like angry, you're just not in a good mood, and you have a friend that like says something really dumb and it makes you laugh and you put a smile on your face, and yeah, you're still upset, you're still butthurt about it, but you just feel better. Same thing with these power poses. You know, get into one, stand up straight, kick your shoulders back, head up, chest out. You're going to feel so much better than if you're just like sitting down awkwardly with your shoulders bent in, crouched down. Like, no. That is a beta position. The power poses are an alpha position. Be the alpha. Have the confidence. I remember when I went to the Tony Robbins seminar last year. He was talking about confidence. We had a whole discussion about this. And he was saying how literally if you just walk into a room like you own the room, everything changes. Not only your feeling of yourself, but how other people view you. And, that whole seminar thing is about, motivation and stuff. So I was pretty motivated. So after it ended for that day, I was with my uncle, and we went down to the grocery store, supermarket. I think it was a Publix, or Whole Foods. Publix or I think it was Publix. And we went in, and, we were all hyped up. I was motivated, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand up straight with my shoulders back, walk like I own the place. And I noticed how good I felt just walking in a supermarket. And I noticed I was getting looks from people. I don't really get looks from people. I'm not an impressive dude. I'm 5'7". I'm a little chunky. I'm not an impressive, like, great looking guy. But like, I was getting looks from people, and I was like, it must be the way that I'm like showing myself, how I carry myself. And it's so funny just how a little adjustment in your posture can change everything. All right, we're running out of time, so we got to hurry up. Next point, you got to look good. Got to look good. And I don't mean that like, oh, I'm ugly, so I can't be confident. No. Even if you're not the greatest looking guy in the world, I just mean like you got to take some pride in who you are and look good. Anybody can look good. Anybody can. I don't care if you're the most ugliest person in the world. You can look good, or at least look decent, right? All you gotta do is like fix yourself up. Take care of your skin. Go through a skin routine. Don't walk out of the house with your hair a mess. Do your hair nicely. Don't walk out of the house with like sweatpants. Like, put on a nice pair of like jeans or whatever. Put on a nice shirt. Put on nice shoes. Look good. I'm not saying you gotta dress up, but just look good. Look decent. Wear some nice clothing. You got spaghetti stains all over the place. Why are you wearing that shirt? Just have some sort of care. And then people, when they see you, they look at you and say, that's a guy who cares. That's a guy who's has some sort of confidence in himself. And when you notice that, hey, I look good in this outfit today, my hair looks good today, you're going to walk with more confidence. You are probably going to stand up with your shoulders back because you are happy. And now you're just giving yourself more and more confidence as it goes on. And I'm not saying that you got to like be a style guru or, I don't know, look like a model. Like, no. Just, it can be very basic, very minimalist. Just look like you care. And let's go on to my next point, which was do something good for others every day. Do something good for somebody. And why? Why? What does that have to do with my confidence? Yeah, I want to be a good person, but what's that got to do with my confidence? Well, if you're doing something good for other people, won't you feel good about yourself? And doesn't feeling good about yourself correlate with confidence? Have you not learned nothing from me yet? I'm kidding. But yeah, do something good for others. Help somebody out. Help an old lady cross the street. Well, I don't know if old ladies actually need help crossing the street. I've never seen that before. But, like, just help people out. Be good to people. Compliment your friends. If you compliment your friends, they'll like you more. And people want to hang out more around you. And the more that you see that you're a desirable person to be around, the more confident you'll feel. Because you're like, hey, people like me. People want to be around me. And it's a good feeling. And it also stops you from getting too cocky, because if you're always doing something good, if you're always being nice, being kind, then, you really can't become this overly cocky person because you're a nice person. See, like, there's a balance. People think that being nice, like, oh, I don't want to be the nice guy who gets walked all over. Or, oh, look, those confident jocks who are such jerks. Like, there's a balance. You can be in the middle. You can be a great, nice person who has confidence and can walk straight, standing straight. But if you do something nice to people, you'll feel good about yourself, and others will take notice, want to be around you more, and with you seeing that, brings you more confidence. So double confidence right there. But we also, you can't really care what people think. And this is a complicated topic because I'm not saying don't care what people think, period. What I'm saying is that you can't try to please everybody, because not everybody's going to be pleased. If your dad wanted you to be a lawyer and your mom wanted you to be a doctor and your best friend wanted to start a business with you, but you chose to follow your dream and become an artist, well, everybody's unhappy with you. But you know what? You have to do what's going to make you happy. And if you don't care what they think, you don't care how they judge you, you're just going to be better for it. Because you're happy with who you are. You're happy with the life choices you've made. So why worry about what others are saying about you? But that also has to do about, getting rid of the toxic people. Because if you have those consistently toxic people who are always trying to bring you down, then you're not going to be able to stay confident. So you have to have those two hand in hand. Picking good people to be around and not caring what the bad people think. But of course, you should care what certain people think. Like, you have a good friend who's supportive and like always wants you to be great, and then you're going to make one decision and he expresses his concerns about the decision. Don't just be like, I don't care what you think. No. Listen to his concerns. Like, do you want to invest in a stock or something, and your friend who maybe has a little bit more financial experience than you is like, hey, I wouldn't do that right now because of how shaky everything's looking. Maybe wait a week or invest in this stock instead. I mean, again, this is just an example, so don't take this stock seriously, because, stocks are erratic. But just using it as an example. Anyways, so if your friend who has more financial experience than you, yeah, maybe you want to take his stuff into consideration, because it's not like you know what you're doing in every single aspect. Sometimes you need advice from people. So reach out to people. Care what some people think, but don't care about what those haters think, because they don't matter. And if you do care what those haters think, that's just going to bring you down. And how are you going to have confidence if all you're doing is listening to people hating on you? That's why so many people who are in the public space, who are influencers, they don't read negative comments. They don't look at their Twitter. They don't look at comments on YouTube and Instagram. Because why? Why unnecessarily bring themselves down? Exactly, right? There's no reason to bring yourself down. Because you don't need to please all those people. There's too many people in this world for you to please everybody. Please those who care. Please those who want good for you. Don't try to please those who just want to hurt you. And many times they just want to hurt you because they don't care. Many times they don't care about their own life. And as we said before, you got to choose the right people. Choose the people who are going to encourage you. Choose the people who are going to support you in your endeavors to try to be successful in your own way. And this next point is important, as all of them are, of course, but this one's really important, which is move on. Seriously, just move on. When you have people like that in your life who are haters, who do want to drag you down, move on from them. Don't care. Because life goes on, and if you stop at every single bump in the road, you're never going to make it. That's why I was pick yourself up. Every time you fall, get back up. Because if you fall and then you stay there for 20 minutes during a race, you're never going to finish the race. If you're running a marathon and you trip on a shoelace or something and fall, you got to get right back up and keep going because you got to meet your time. You got to finish this race. But if you don't, get back up. If you don't get back up and you just sit there and oh, I fell. I messed up. I guess I'll never succeed. Then you're never going to succeed. You're making it happen yourself, not because you fell. That's inevitable. That happens. But the fact that you're wasting time dwelling on that, that's what's ultimately going to cause you to fail. When people, I have a lot of friends who, including myself, who's been through this, when they break up with somebody, they dwell on that person, dwell on that moment for so long. Of course, you got to mourn, you got to dwell, because, you've been in a long-term relationship or something. You're so used to having that person by your side all the time. I get it. Been there. It sucks to lose somebody. But it's life. Nobody's around forever. Even if you're married for 65 years, eventually one of them die. And that's life. You got to move on. Because that's literally the only way that you can succeed. Move on. Keep on moving. I don't mean rip them out of your heart and just be I don't care about you no more. And then, no, don't do that. You have to, don't bottle it in either. You got to deal with the pain. You got to fix whatever it is that you're dealing with first. But you can't dwell on that for months and months and months. That's just, again, it's like tripping over a shoelace during a race and sitting down for a half hour. You can't do that. Because you're setting yourself back. You're screwing up your potential success. So just move on. Whether it's a job you messed up doing, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's, a project, whatever it is, move on. Yeah, we all fail. We all screw up. Things happen. That doesn't mean that you give up. Keep on going. And how can you keep on going if you don't believe in yourself? Which is our last and final point. You gotta believe in yourself. If you read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that's kind of the whole point that he's making it. You gotta believe. You gotta have faith in yourself. If you're not confident, faithful, loyal, determined, persistent, all those things, you're not going to make it. to the extent that you want. Believe that you can accomplish your dreams. Believe that you can be that confident person. But you know what? You're here. So obviously you care. But you really have to believe. Yeah, caring is step one. But if you don't believe that you can get there, that you can become this confident person, you probably won't. And that's just the reality. Because if you're doubting yourself all the time, how is that going to keep you motivated? How is that going to keep you going? How is that going to keep you determined? It doesn't. So believe in yourself. And you know what? You can do it. Because it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. It's going to suck for a while. It's going to hurt. You're going to have a lot of bumps and bruises. But in the end, you can make it. You can become that confident alpha. So guys, keep on going. Don't give up. Remember, just got to keep growing. Whatever it is that you need to accomplish, just keep on hammering. Keep going after it. And don't give up. Get back up all the time. Always. Love you all. Have a good night. See you next week.